and welcome to my YouTube channel. So tonight I've come up to a special place steeped in history, a place called Dalry, just south of Tyne-Drum, and if I turn round you'll get to see the special waterfalls, and Willie has joined me tonight. So what we're going to do is we're going to split up and see what shots we can take. So join me and let's see where this journey takes us tonight. Alright, so first image is I'm trying to catch the falls here with the light on them, and my focal point is just to the centre of the image. I'm just catching my balance because what I want to try and do is get the nice light behind the waterfalls, because the trees have been lit up really nice. So the other thing I'm doing here is I'm adjusting the camera because I want, from an exposure point of view, I want the falls to come in on the left hand side of my image. So what I'm doing is I'm just zooming in just now just to check I've got the texture of the water the way I like it, and it is really nice. So what I'm going to do here then is this is quite a wide shot as well, so you've got the main falls on the right hand side and then you've got small waterfalls on the left. So what I'll try and do is I'll take shots from a wide perspective so I get the full set of the falls front on, and then I'll zoom into the right hand side and I'll get close to the falls from this position. So I'm quite elevated up, and the reason that I'm elevated up is I want to see above the falls and I want to catch the last of the light before it disappears, because that'll make a really nice image. And then when the sun sets a wee bit more behind the trees, this will become a darker scene, but it means we can lighten it up and we won't get as much glare in the water, and that allows me to have variety that I'm looking for. So I'll take these images and I'll share those images with you now. So I've come down to the lower rock, and what I'm doing is I'm just trying to shoot on to the falls face front, because the sun's went a wee bit further down, so it means we can speed up the shutter speed or we can increase the ISO because it's getting a bit dark. But what I'm going to do here is I've turned my camera over to vertical and I'm taking a shot of that little waterfall over there on the left hand side. So I'll do some vertical shots because landscape won't really work with it, and our little friends the midges have come out. This is the first time this year that we've had as many midges in their pests. So I'll focus over there, I'll take 2 or 3 close-up shots, I'll take some low wide frontal shots of the falls, and when I'm finished I'll share those images with you now. Alright, so I've come down to the base here, and what I'm trying to do is trying to use this big rock in front of me as a kind of area of foreground interest, because the water's coming down, it's swirling past, it's hitting this rock, but what I also wanted was the small waterfall centred in my image so it was coming forward, because when I was standing over on my left it was difficult to see the small waterfall. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking these shots in the hope that I get quite a nice foreground interest. So we've got, it's actually quite a nice image. So we've got the small waterfall coming down, we've got a slithery water coming down, you've got the water coming down for the main waterfall hitting that rock, and then you've got a trail of water coming off the rock. So I'm hoping, and I'm just checking my pictures, that I get some nice water trail effects, because I'm using a 1/4 of a second f8, and I've upped my ISO from ISO 50 to ISO 125 because it's getting really dark, and I've also got a polarizer on so that we can see through the water. Right, so I'll take a couple of more shots, and then what I'll do is I'll share those images with you now. Alright, so I've come now to the far left to where I can go, as far as I can go with the falls. And I'm using this to get a kind of view for the left to right. But what I'm trying to do, I'm using the bottom of the rocks as kind of foreground interest, just so that it gives me some form of separation. So when the water comes down, you've got the big rocks at the waterfalls, you've got little rock in the middle of the river, and then you've got this base rock. So it gives me a bit of balance, so the water's forced to come down to the right and then sweep out in my picture to the left. And that could be a really nice picture. Right, so what I'll do here is, I'm going to do some close-up shots. I'll turn the camera around and do some verticals. And boy, the midges are out in force tonight. So what we'll do is, I'll take a number of shots and then I'll share those images with you. And just so you know where we are, this is the River Fillen. So the River Fillen comes all the way down from Tyne Drum, snakes its way all the way down to Crane Larach. It passes Crane Larach, and then it meets up with the River Darach. It then eventually flows down into Killin to the Falls of Darach. So yeah, quite a nice little river actually, really, really nice. This whole area is steeped in history. So where we are, we're in a place called Dalry, and Dalry means Field of the King. And in 1306, the Battle of Dalry, about half a mile away from us, was fought with Robert the Bruce. So King Robert the Bruce was fighting the MacDougall clan, who were supporters of the Red Comyn and the English, and he was overwhelmed by their armies, managed to flee away and escape. So luckily he did, and there's a church further down the road, or there used to be a church called St Fillen's Church, and that was built in 1318, but there's only kind of remains there now. In fact, it might even have been bulldozed by now, but that was only a couple of miles away. So yeah, a lot of medieval history in this area. Not a huge amount of modern history, but definitely a lot of medieval history. So I'll take these images and I'll share them with you now. Right, so I've come down for the rock, and when I was standing up there, what I noticed was there's a lot of water flowing down like a little kind of flue, and it's going into a pool, and then it's circular, and then it's coming out at the bottom. So what I'm doing here is I'm just going to take a 1/4 of a second f8, but it's getting darker and darker, so I'm upping my ISO. And the reason I'm using my ISO to compensate for the light is I still want to have that 1/4 of a second shutter speed. So what I'll do is I'll do 2 or 3 shots. I might even try a vertical shot and see how that works, and just focus in on the water going down beside the rock. There's a fallen tree in the basin in the bottom, so if I can get a wee bit further closer there, then I might be able to get some of the water and the tree in the image. So I'll give that all a try, and I'll share those images with you now. closer to the falls, and what I'm trying to do is get a front on shot, so we've got some light in the sky behind us, but to be fair, my interest is right in the middle of the falls here, because the falls are actually pretty cool. So what I'm doing is I'm just shooting a number of shots. I've done a wide shot and I'm doing some close-ups, and I'm just having to make sure I've got my settings right, because the light's changing quite a lot, and because the water is bright, sometimes you get highlights in the whites of the water. So what I'm trying to do is just make sure I've got the right exposure, and I'm either on my bang on exposure or I'm just underexposed. So I've reduced my ISO back to 50, because you get quite a lot of glare of the water, and then in post-processing I can bring up the dark shadows. So because when I look at my histogram on the camera, then my histogram's got space at the end where there's a gap for highlights, and the end where there's a gap for darks. So it's actually, well, it looks quite good at the back of the camera, but we'll soon know when we get home and we load them on the computer. But yeah, so I'm going to take a whole bunch of different close-up shots here, wide shots. I'll tilt the camera over. I'm not so sure this could be a portrait style image, although there's a rock in front of me that could be conducive to that kind of portrait shot. But I'll give them a try, because there's some nice reflections on the water, and when I do, I'll share those images with you now. Alright, so I've moved to the far right of the falls here, and what I'm just trying to do is just get different perspectives, and we're really losing the light now. So I'm just checking my settings. So I've upped my ISO to 250, I've got f8 1/4 of a second. I'm kind of loath to slow down my shutter speed a wee bit more, but what I'll do is I'll put it up to 1/2 second, and I'm just going to check the texture of the water, because yeah, I don't like that. So I'm going to put my shutter speed back to where I was. So I like 1/4 second. I'll up my ISO to compensate. I've still got f8. I'll take that shot, because it's the texture and the streaks in the water that I'm looking for. Right, so what I'll do is, there's quite a bit of foam here. There's also a nice bit of rock with a whole bunch of shapes in it. So that could make quite a nice vertical leading line across to the falls. It'll also do a good landscape shot. So I'll take 2 or 3 shots here, and I'll share those images with you now. Closer to the falls on the right hand side. Hopefully you like those really low shots that I just took, because I went to the very end of that rock and I took some low shots. I zoomed straight in, so hopefully we got some nice water effects. Right, so what am I going to do here? We've got a nice sky above us now with the sun setting up the back. So what I'll do is I'll take a couple of shots here. I'll come out, I'll go and stand beside Wally, and then we'll take some shots so we can get the sky in the image. But what I'll do is I'll take 2 or 3 images here, and what I'll do is, once I've finished, I'll try a portrait shot as well. And because it's quite dark tonight, just because the sun's away, some of these images might be nice and black and white. So what I'll do is I'll make some black and whites. And if you drop a comment in the comments and let me know, do you think that the images of the waterfalls are nice in black and white or in colour? So please drop a comment down below, and I'll be really interested to see what you write. Alright, so we're working pretty fast to try and get this sky before we lose it. So Willie's using an ND filter, and what I'm doing is I'm using multiple exposures only because I'm too lazy to go get the ND filter. Plus the other thing I'm doing here is I'm doing a 6 or 7 point panoramic, but I'm also doing a multiple exposure panoramic, and then that way I've got the sky in my image. But what I'll do is, if anyone is interested and you've never done a panoramic using multiple exposures before, what I'll do in Photoshop and Lightroom is I'll do a HD merge panoramic, and then what that'll do is that'll bring all my images together, and it'll stitch all the exposure images into one big panoramic. So I'll do that, and I'll share the end result with you now. Alright, so these are probably going to be the last images of the night. So what Willie and I are trying to do is catch the last lick of the sunset hitting the clouds above the trees. So I'm just checking, I'm using multiple exposures because I've got a really nice sky, so I hope that turns out. So what I've got is, I've got the big rock in the falls, I've got the foreground, and I've got the trees in the horizon, and then I've got the glow of the sky up above me. And I'm just watching my footing because if I fall in I'll crack my head. Right, so I'm going to do a quick panoramic shot here, and what I'll do is I'll put my hand in front of the camera, and then that way I know I've started the panoramic. And again, I'm still doing multiple exposure images. Let me just try that again. Right, so here we go. I'm still doing multiple exposure images. I'll just turn that around. Right, so I'll take this shot, and then once I've done the panoramic shot here, because what I really want to do here is just get the sky, well, use the sky because it's a really nice sky, because we're getting to the end of the day, and I'll share that panoramic image with you now. Oh wow. Alright, so Willie has just spotted an amazing sunset image behind us. So let me, well, it's nice. Let me set up the camera. Alright, so the only thing here is I've got a tree in front of me. So I'm just going to check the composition here, lower the camera because there's a beautiful light on the mountains in front of me. I'm just leveling the camera off, and the view I've got here is absolutely stunning. I've just tilted the camera down a little bit, but oh wow, this is absolutely cracking. The midges nearly swallowed the midges, but the colour behind us is absolutely stunning. I really hope after all this these actual images work out, because the sky's stunning. Well, we've been beat by the sun.
Beat by the midges.
And beat by the midges. Willie's the jungle juice man tonight.
Come on.
We've had great outings this year, and we've never been bothered by midges, eh?
No.
And then we come here and there's been hundreds of the wee bisms. Anyway, do you enjoy that, Willie?
That was good, aye. Good night.
Did you get some nice photos?
Hope so.
Well, you wandered a lot further than me. At least you got to the bottom of the falls. I stayed in the one
nearly
spot.
slipped into.
Oh, did you? It's really slippy with the wellies. Wellies are lethal.
Yeah.
Right, well, here's hoping we can make a video out of this. Thanks very much to Willie.
No problem.
And if you like it, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do, because you know it's free. And if you press the bell notification, that'll let you know the next time I post a video. So thanks again, Willie.
Cheers, Stuart.
And here's to the next video.